There's something spiritual about simply writing down your thoughts. Writing down your thoughts gives you a chance to learn more about yourself through introspection. I think the biggest effect introspective writing has is that a lot of the time what you write is a reflection of your values, thoughts, and innermost desires. Creativity has a way of doing just that, being in some way a reflection of the creator. See, when it comes to writing, many people don't think they have it in them. They say, I've got nothing to write about, or they're scared, saying, what if someone reads it and thinks it's stupid? The latter is why when I first started writing, it had to rhyme. Back then, I was too afraid of what others might think. Everything I wrote had to be like a rap in order to fit in with what I thought was cool at the time. Fortunately, I continued to write over the years, and because of it, I've grown to better understand myself and do things I could only literally have dreamed of. Over the years, with practice, my writing style and skills have grown too. How I came to discover the power of writing. For 17 years now, I've been discovering the benefits of writing in my life. I write down my thoughts, my dreams, goals, and projects for the near and distant future. I also write poetry, which is where it all began. As a young man, I was very much in my personal hell, and I didn't know how to get out of it, or even if I could get out. More times than not, my childhood was pretty rough and a struggle to get through from day to day. But somehow, I always came back to the thought that there were other kids out there that had it worse. As a teenager, I turned to drugs to numb the pain and feeling of helplessness that had consumed me, and by age 19, I was using and selling hard drugs every day. I needed a way out because I knew I didn't belong in the hell that I had made my home, but I didn't know how to get out. Then one day, I started doing something that would eventually change my life. At some point, during my drugged up haze, I started writing down my feelings. But because I was ashamed to be writing down my feelings, the words had to rhyme. I started writing raps, and it began to reveal a lot of the thoughts that had been bubbling up inside me. Thoughts that would otherwise have gone around in my head without any real direction. The words came slowly, because I was either too high to concentrate or too mentally exhausted. But they eventually came out, and I began to really learn more about myself and my situation through introspection. Before long, I'd come to the realization that I didn't belong in the hell that I was in. And at around about the same time as this realization, I had an even more profound revelation. I was becoming a man. A young man that had the potential to create a life that was far from the one that I was in. And so, I started focusing on my blessings. It was like I had discovered my natural blessings for the first time, and when I focused on them, they helped me to be hopeful that I could eventually build the life I dreamed of. These blessings were the simple things, like having 2 strong hands and feet, time on my side, a young mind, and 4 younger siblings, which being a role model for was my motivation. Because of this revelation of self through writing and self-development and going down that amazing road of self-discovery and experience, I'm now in that place that I'd only dreamed of years ago. I am certain I would not have gotten out of that hell so soon, let alone unscathed, if I didn't start writing down my thoughts. Looking back at it all, I now see the life-changing power of writing. In my personal case, I discovered the power of writing through the form of poetry. Some people like to journal, writing down the events of the day and how they felt. Others write stories, lists, their goals, philosophies even. As long as you are writing down your thoughts, you will at least begin to understand more about yourself and the world that you live in. And one of the reasons that will happen is because if you write more, you will naturally read more. Jim Rohn was one of the 20th century's most influential speakers and a leader in personal development. Here's what he had to say about writing. If you're serious about becoming a wealthy, powerful, sophisticated, healthy, influential, cultured, and unique individual, keep a journal. Don't trust your memory. When you listen to something valuable, write it down. When you come across something important, write it down. Anne Frank wrote, I can shake off everything as I write. My sorrows disappear. My courage is reborn. Natalie Goldberg, the author of Writing Down the Bones, Freeing the Writer Within, wrote, write what disturbs you, what you fear, what you've not been willing to speak about. Be willing to be split open. You might not think what you write will be amazingly interesting to others, You may not even want anyone to read what you write. Though one thing is for sure, we all have thoughts and words running incessantly through our minds. That is a fact of life. Why not write some of them down and find out what those thoughts really mean to you? If you've never done it before, I know it's hard at the start, but write down whatever you want, whatever you're thinking, what your wildest dreams are, and before long, you'll see that what you write is more important than you originally thought. I'm Joey Tran. It took me ages to build up the courage to make a video like this. Well, now I have. If you want to see more videos like this, please give this one a like and subscribe to my channel. And remember, you can do anything you put your mind to.